Hello and welcome to Wildlife Around Us. I hope all of you are in good health. In my last video, I shared with you my timeline about how I progressed in my macro photography skills as well as my photographic equipments. Today I am going to discuss about all those cheap and cost-effective alternatives to dedicated macro lens that you can buy to kickstart your macro photographic journey. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so as I have already said before, today I am going to discuss about all the cheap alternatives to dedicated macro lenses and how they can simply turn your kit lens into a macro lens. I will also be discussing about the advantages and disadvantages of using these gears one by one. These gears can be divided into two main categories. In the first category, there are one or more than one magnifying glasses which fits in front of your normal kit lens and simply magnifies the image which then your lens captures. In the second category, there is no involvement of any magnifying glass lenses. These are basically some hollow tubes or adapters which fits between your camera body and your camera lens to give magnification. Now how these simple hollow tubes gives the magnification, I will tell you in details one by one. The first one is the close-up kit. A close-up kit consists of a series of magnifying glasses of the power +1, +2, +4 and +10, which is the main macro lens, and magnifies the image before it hits the lens of your camera and the camera records the magnified image. These close-up kits comes in different filter threads. Depending upon which lens you are using, you should choose your close-up kit. Now coming into the advantages of this gear, the first one is it is very cheap. It is very cost effective, though there are some high-end products are also available which gives somewhat a better result. The second is it is very lightweight and so it is portable. You can just put it in your pocket and go with your kit lens anywhere. Then it is safe for your camera just because it fits into the front end of your lens and does not interfere with your sensor or the back end of your lens. It gives quite some sort of magnification if you attach all the four filters. Now coming into the disadvantage, the main disadvantage using these close-up kits is it comes with a definite filter thread like 52mm, 58mm. Now if you change the lens, then your close-up kit will become ineffective. And the second point, which is very important point, is you are basically adding glass elements in front of your lens, right? So increasing glass element means increasing the refraction of the light, and so there is a light loss. So you will definitely not get a sharp image using these close-up lenses. The second one is the Renox DCR 250 filter. The mechanism is same just like the close-up kit. It is also a magnifying glass which fits into the front end of your lens. But unlike the close-up kit, it does not have multiple glass elements. It only has one single glass element, which is a super magnifying glass and gives us about 2.5x macro. The main advantage of this Renox filter is it is very cheap. It costs around 6K to 7K as compared to the dedicated macro lenses. It is very lightweight and portable. As it has only one single glass element, so the light refraction or light loss is minimal and the ultimate image quality is very good compared to the close-up kits. But probably the most important point and the most positive thing about Renox DCR 250 is that it does not have a filter thread. What it basically does, it has a clip system which fits into the front end of your lens, and the clip system can fit into lenses ranging from 52mm to 67mm diameter. There are two disadvantages of using the Renox filter. The first one is obviously it is also a glass element, so there must be some amount of light loss. So there is a little bit of sharpness reduction, but that is not so noticeable. But probably the main disadvantage of using the Renox filter is that it restricts your maximum focusing distance. What that means is that you cannot focus to infinity while attaching or using the Renox DCR 250 filter. Okay, So this is all about the first category of equipments. Now let us take a look at the second category of equipment. The first one is the extension tubes. So what are extension tubes? Extension tubes are basically some hollow tubes which fits between your camera body and your camera lens and gives us a magnification. Now how some hollow tubes can give a magnification and turn a kit lens into a magnifying macro lens? To understand this, we have to look at a simple formula. The formula is L by F plus the inherent magnification ratio of a lens at a particular focal length. L is the length of the extension tube and F is the focal length of the lens which you are using. The best lens which is compatible with extension tubes is the 50 mm or in and around the 50 mm focal length, because it gives us a good magnification. At the same time, it also gives us quite a good working distance or the minimum focusing distance. Most companies manufacture extension tubes in three segments: 12 mm, 20 mm and 36 mm. Now I will be taking several cases to make you understand how this works. So in the first case, you take your camera body and you take your 50 mm lens and you do not take any extension tube. So according to the formula, L or length of the extension tube is 0 divided by F or the focal length is 50 plus 0.15, which is the inherent magnification ratio of the 50 mm prime lens. The result is 0.15. So there is basically no magnification. Now you put a 12 mm extension tube between your camera body and your 50 mm prime lens. Now L becomes 12, F becomes 50. So 12 by 50 plus 0.15 is 0.39x. Now you can see that there is a magnification of 0.39x that you are getting using the 12 mm extension tube. Now you take out the 12 mm extension tube and put in the 20 mm extension tube. Now L is 20, F is 50 plus 0.15, it gives you 0.55x, or this is approximately 1 by 2 magnification ratio. Now you take out the 20 mm extension tube and put the 36 mm extension tube, which is the largest in your kit. So L is 36, F is 50 plus 0.15, which is 36 by 50 plus 0.15 will be 0.87x. So you are getting a 0.87x zoom or magnification using the 36 mm extension tube. So you can see that using all these extension tubes separately will not give you 1:1 magnification ratio, which is a true macro. But what about using a combination of the extension tubes? Let us take an example where you put a 12 mm and the 36 mm, which is the minimum and the maximum extension tubes in between your camera and your 50 mm lens. Now you calculate using the formula where L is 12 plus 36, which is 48, and F is 50 plus 0.15. Now you see the result you are getting is 1.11x, which is more than a true macro or more than 1:1. So you can see that using a combination of these extension tubes, you will not only get a macro or true macro, you will also get a super macro result. There is a website where they provide a magnification calculator where you can put your extension tube length and your focal length that you are using, and they will give you the magnification ratio or the magnification that you will be getting using that combination. I will put the link of the website in my description. Please go and check it out. Now, what are the advantages of using the extension tubes? The first and the main advantage is that it does not have any glass element. So there are no amount of light lost due to refraction of glass element between your lens and your camera. So the image quality is far better than a close-up kit. It is much less expensive than a dedicated macro lens. Extension tubes provide a flexible and upgradable increase in magnification while you are working. Now, what are the disadvantages? The first one is it does not work with all the lenses, mainly the telephoto lenses. Just like the Renox TCR250 filter, it also restricts your maximum focusing distance, which means you cannot focus to infinity while using the extension tubes. Another main disadvantages of using the extension tube is that when you are increasing or decreasing magnification by changing the extension tube's time and again in field, the sensor or the back end of your lens is exposed to dust and it can cause harm to your camera. Another very important point is that the extension tubes are available in market in two forms: auto extension tube and the manual extension tube. The manual extension tube does not have an electrical connection between your camera body and your lens. What that means is you cannot control your aperture or the autofocus. Whereas the auto extension tubes have an electrical connection between your camera body and your lens, where you will be able to control your aperture as well as the autofocus. So this is all about the extension tube. Now we will look into the reverse ring technique. Now what a reverse ring is? A reverse ring is basically a metal adapter which has a filter thread on one side and a lens mount on the other side. The end with the lens mount fit with your camera, and your normal lens, when reversed, fits or screws into the filter thread of your reverse ring. Now how the magnification happens just by reversing the lens? It is very simple. Let us take for example a lens you are using which has a magnification ratio of 1:5. Now you are photographing a subject which is say 50 mm in dimension with your lens which has a 1:5 magnification ratio. The image that will get in the sensor will be of 10 mm. Now as soon as you reverse the lens, the magic happens. The magnification ratio also gets reversed, which means that your lens which has a 1:5 magnification ratio now becomes a 5:1 magnification ratio lens, which means if you are shooting a subject of 10 mm in size, you will get an image of 50 mm in dimension in your sensor. Now what are the advantages and disadvantages of using a reverse ring? The advantages are it is very cheap. Second is it is lightweight, it is portable. It can give you extreme magnification at such a low price. And if properly used, it can give you beautiful bouquets. Now let us talk about the disadvantages of using the reverse ring. The normal cheaper reverse rings are just a metal adapter which does not give any electrical connection between your camera body and your lens. What that means is you cannot use your autofocus or you cannot adjust your aperture in this situation. In the Canon lenses, when it is switched off, the aperture is wide open and you cannot control the aperture in this situation. What that means, the DOF or the depth of field is very thin, and practically it is very difficult to focus on your subject. On the other hand, in the Nikon lenses, when it is switched off, the aperture is tightly closed or it's at its minimum. There is only one way to keep the aperture in your desired amount. You have to switch on the camera, fix the lens in its normal position, then fix the aperture, half press the button, and on the switch on condition you have to open the lens and then fix it on the opposite side. This whole process is going on while the camera you are using is switched on. Now it is very harmful because the sensor becomes magnetic when it is switched on, so it attracts lot of dust in it. Though nowadays some reverse rings are available in the market which has an electrical connection attached to it. Obviously they are a bit costly than the normal ones. On one hand, reverse ring technique is very cheap, but on the other hand it needs lots and lots of practice. Many professionals, after having several years of experience, use this reverse ring technique to get a super macro or a super magnification image. So this is all about the cheap and the cost-effective alternatives to dedicated macro lenses which you can easily buy in the market to kickstart your macro photography journey. Now if you already have a dedicated macro lens, you can still buy one of these cheaper alternatives and use in combination with your macro lens to get a super macro image. Other than the reverse ring technique, the reverse ring do not work well with a long focal length as already discussed. In my next video, I will be talking about focusing in macro photography. What are the several techniques that you can use to better focus your subject, where you will use the autofocus and where you will use the manual focus, which will give you a better result, and all those things. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get regular notification of my contents. See you next time. Bye for now.